have an important job. Your guests count on you as a server of alcohol to help them enjoy themselves and have a good time. Your managers rely on you to make money for the establishment. Your community depends on you to prevent alcohol-related incidents. Some people may think these priorities conflict, but they don't have to. You can meet the needs of your guests, managers, and community by using the knowledge and skills you will learn in this program. What tools do you need to assess your guests? How can you help them enjoy themselves while in your establishment and keep them from becoming intoxicated? How can you provide great customer service? And what techniques can you use to deal quickly with the problems that do come up?
I hear you, man.
I really appreciate it.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
These are just some of the questions we'll address during this program. TIPS is designed to help you build on the people skills you already have. You'll add knowledge and skills geared specifically toward preventing alcohol-related problems and taking care of your guests. Building on those skills, you will learn how to spot the 4 behavioral cues that can tell you if a guest is approaching intoxication or is already intoxicated. You will learn about 6 intoxication rate factors that affect how quickly a person may be affected by alcohol. You'll also learn about blood alcohol content, or BAC. And finally, how tolerance may make it harder to assess your guests. But being able to spot behavioral cues and intoxication rate factors is not enough to handle problem situations. That's why we will also give you guidelines for dealing with almost any problem that comes up while you're serving guests or tending bar. Many people drink alcohol when unwinding with dinner, listening to music, or just enjoying their time with friends and family. Most people use alcohol responsibly, but some don't. Their drinking gets out of control, and so do they. You have to be able to size up your guests. This will help you decide whether or not to serve them. One way to size people up is by the behavioral cues they display. 4 basic cues can tell you when a person is or is becoming intoxicated. When people drink even small amounts, they tend to lose their inhibitions. At first, they become more relaxed and talkative. They may even display mood swings. As they drink more, they shed more of their inhibitions and begin to show the second cue, impaired judgment. When their judgment becomes impaired, guests' behavior becomes socially unacceptable. People with impaired judgment may begin dancing or singing, or they may become overly friendly with you or with others around them. Because their judgment is impaired, they tend to overrate themselves. Impaired judgment can also cause intoxicated people to think that they are okay to drive, when they are not. The third cue, slowed reactions, means that the thinking process has been affected. People with slowed reactions may lose their train of thought. They may forget that they've ordered another drink or where they put their car keys. People experiencing slowed reactions may have glassy, unfocused eyes or slurred speech. They may light a second cigarette in addition to the one already burning. You can see the final behavioral cue, loss of coordination, when people stagger, stumble, or spill drinks. Guests might have trouble handling their knives or forks. They may also fumble with change. Drinking alcohol has progressive effects. The more a person drinks, the more cues you are likely to see. Intoxication rate factors affect how quickly a person becomes intoxicated and displays behavioral cues. There are 6 intoxication rate factors. The first is a person's size. Larger people may be able to drink more without being as affected as smaller people. However, if the larger person's size is due mostly to body fat, the reverse can be true, since body fat does not absorb alcohol. The second intoxication rate factor is gender. Women are typically smaller, with a higher percentage of body fat, and tend to become intoxicated faster than men. The third factor is the rate of consumption. The faster a person drinks the alcohol, the more quickly he or she will become intoxicated. The fourth intoxication rate factor is the strength of the drink. A straight-up drink will be absorbed most quickly. A drink diluted with water will be absorbed slower. Remember, however, that any carbonated mixer may increase the absorption rate. It is also important to understand that each of these drinks has about the same amount of pure alcohol: 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, and 1 ounce of 100 proof liquor. But remember, we're talking about measured drinks here. The figures are not accurate if the drinks aren't measured. Glass sizes differ, and so does the amount of alcohol in various mixed drinks. Any kind of alcohol beverage can cause intoxication because they all contain pure alcohol. Don't fall prey to the myth that people drinking beer and wine are less likely to become intoxicated than those drinking hard liquor. The fifth factor is drug use. There is no way to predict how a drug will react with alcohol. Both prescription and non-prescription drugs, when taken with alcohol, can have an unpredictable effect. The last intoxication rate factor is food intake. Food in the stomach delays the absorption of alcohol into the bloodstream. A person with a full stomach will not become intoxicated as quickly as will a person drinking on an empty stomach. Alcohol differs from other food and beverages because your body does not have to digest it before absorbing it. It can be absorbed directly into the bloodstream. So, how do we measure someone's intoxication level? Behavioral cues are your best way to assess visible intoxication, which can be grounds for arrest regardless of the amount of alcohol actually consumed. Most laws rely on what is called blood alcohol content, or BAC, to determine intoxication. BAC is a measurement of the amount of alcohol in a person's blood. Every jurisdiction has a legal BAC limit, at or above which it is illegal to operate a motor vehicle. BAC levels can be accurately measured only by blood testing or by breathalyzer. As a server of alcohol, you're not expected to know a person's BAC level, but you will want to note some key points about blood alcohol content. The more alcohol a person consumes, the more behavioral cues you are likely to see, and the higher the BAC level will be. A person's BAC level can be different each time he or she drinks, even when the number of drinks is the same. Intoxication rate factors affect how quickly the BAC level rises. Time is the only thing that can lower a person's BAC level. By relying on behavioral cues, intoxication rate factors, and your understanding of BAC, you should be able to assess each guest you serve. Of course, tolerance can make assessing your guests a little harder. People who frequently drink alcohol tend to have a high tolerance, allowing them to hide the behavioral cues that might otherwise indicate that they are intoxicated. You will want to pay special attention whenever you notice a heavy smell of alcohol in a guest's breath. Tolerance has no effect on a person's BAC level or the level of intoxication. Just because a person isn't showing the typical cues does not mean the person is not impaired. At the other end of the spectrum, people who drink infrequently tend to have a low tolerance and may show signs of intoxication after consuming only a small amount of alcohol. So far, we have talked about the cues that indicate when a person has had too much to drink, and about the intoxication rate factors that affect how quickly a person becomes intoxicated. We've also touched on blood alcohol content, and the idea that tolerance can make it harder to accurately assess your guests' levels of intoxication. That knowledge is helpful, of course, but you also need to understand the legal responsibilities that go along with serving alcohol. And you will need guidelines for steps you can take when an incident does occur. We will explore these ideas in a moment, but for now, it's time for a discussion of the information we have covered so far.